two biggest limitations with this PC build being upgraded in the future come from this tiny 120mm AIO and this terrible case. Like, this cooler is not going to cut it for anything modern. Nor is this case with the entire front being completely blocked off with just these little tiny slits for airflow up front, forcing these 320mm fans to get all their air from this little side vent, making these cheap fans practically useless. So to take care of both of these, let's pull off our water block so we can remove the cooler, along with our GPU, motherboard, IO shield, SSD, hard drive, and finally power supply. This way we can ditch that old case and hook our customer up with one of the best budget PC cases you can buy right now, the Phanteks Eclipse G370A, which is a all airflow case with a fully front ventilated design that ships with 320mm ARGB fans, support for 360mm radiators up top, and great motherboard support all the way up to SSI boards, all for 50 bucks. And unlike every other case I've seen at this price point, it doesn't sacrifice build quality. And because the guys at Phanteks are so cool, well, this case is going to be free for our customer. But before we install our motherboard in this case, there are a couple things we need to prep, which will hopefully make our life a little easier. Like adding in our motherboard IO shield, as this board doesn't have one built in, and because we won't be reusing this cooler, as Phanteks is also hooking our customer up with a new one, let's remove our old mounting hardware and backplate. This way we can add our replacement and new mounting standoffs. Fully prepping our motherboard and case so we can go ahead and get it installed and screwed down. So with our motherboard now in, to continue to make our life easier, we're going to go ahead and pre-wire our system, where you plug in all your front panel headers up front. First, you introduce bulky components like your GPU, which would make this wiring a lot harder to reach. This is also a great time to add our two SATA cables, along with mounting our SSD and mechanical hard drive. And this is also a great time to take care of fans, like adding this extra 120mm to the rear, so we'll have a rear exhaust. So with the front all pre-wired, it's time to slide in our power supply, which we can now get plugged into our motherboard, or adding our bulkiest component, which is our brand new cooler, the Phanteks Glacier 1 M25 Gen, which will not only provide enough cooling for this CPU, but any CPU our customer picks up in the future. So with that in, the last thing to add is our GPU, which we can go ahead and slot into place and get it plugged in. And then to take care of this GPU sag, this case comes with a bracket that if we just put behind the GPU, we'll actually prop up our card to keep it perfectly straight. And just like that, with everything now installed, we can go ahead and fire this system up, which not only looks way better, but thanks to actually having real ventilation up front and a proper cooler, well, our CPU is sitting at just 51 degrees Celsius under a full load stress test, which is not only great for our customer's current hardware, but whatever he decides to upgrade to in the future, well, he's going to be covered.